Sharma. I'm from Kolkata and we'll be talking on ERP. Before starting the topic, I would like to welcome you to the world of ERP we are going to enter. And I'm very happy to have the chairman of the session, CAR Vittal Raj. I'm happy to share the stage with Mr. Sri Harsha and Ms. Rubia. Regarding ERP, I interacted with a few students in this 2 days conference. Many of them haven't started their articleship even right now. So learning and working through the ERP software is quite what I'm not expecting with you all. Those who have just not any idea about except the word ERP, yes, there is a word, there is a full form enterprise resource planning, but what is it and how to use it? What are the advantages and disadvantages of it? What are the challenges actually faced by our industry in this respect? We'll be dealing with all. And I'll be going on through with the presentation covering all the aspects which relates to the concepts, challenges, and solutions. Before starting with the presentation, there is one more point I wish to put forward to the coordinating committee of SICASA and the management team of Southern Region, which has organized this 2 days conference. Fantastic arrangement has been made. Kindly come up with a website or a blog after the success of this event. In that particular website or blog, whatever you come up with, we all can interact on the issues related to the industry. We can exchange our views at the same level. Do you all feel this will help us all evolve as a future chartered accountant? Yes or no? Okay, if my audience is actually in affirmative with my thoughts, if you all really agree, half of the task of explaining the working trend of the ERP is got by all of you. ERP is actually a closed, tightly integrated business loop, which is a business solution package. It helps an organization to cover each and every aspect and integrate all of the results together. It is a kind of single entry transaction system. It's quite new to everyone who is hearing this because we all believe in double entry accounting system. So it is a single entry system? Yes, it is so. End of the presentation, I'll be giving you an example also. The company has prepared a tally and actually converted the ERP data into tally so that they can get on to the final financial position of the company. ERP is actually fully integrated business management system. Few other features and the concepts related to the ERP is that it provides one user interface, one database, and one application where every user can come and interact with other users of the system at just one application installed in the organization. To be known as an ERP, any software which can integrate the data and will be known as the ERP? No. There are a few characteristics which need to be met by the software in order to be known as the ERP. And those characteristics are flexibility. It has to be user-friendly. It should be able to change itself as per the needs of the enterprise. Next is modular and open. We all know there is a hub of computers attached to various offices, various branches of an organization. One should be able to attach or detach any computer at any point of time without disrupting the whole system. Then only the system can be called an ERP. Next is comprehensive and beyond the company. Comprehensive means the user-friendly software, and beyond the company means it gives an additional advantage to the company who is actually using ERP. Next was best business practices. When any organization is using ERP, they are actually creating a work culture in their organization. They're giving a work trend, how the employees need to interact with themselves, how they come up with the data, how to interact with various branches without even going on to the same process again and again. The queries are not repeated actually in this system. Now the companies go for ERP. There is a coming change in the trend of the working of the organizations. Why are companies actually going for implementation of ERP? There has to be some kind of benefits, definitely. And those benefits can be pointed out as integrate financial information. I'm giving an example. Suppose a CEO wants to know the financial position of a particular region. For this thing, what will he do? He'll forward an email to the regional branch manager. Then the information goes to the next level, the next level, the next level. They accumulate all the informations. It takes around 2 to 3 days to accumulate all the information and then forward it to the main headquarter CEO. But with ERP, all the database is updated at just one single click. If any branch person is updating a single data, it's getting updated in the main system. And the same system is available in every branch, in the headquarter, at every desktop. Yes, the access is restricted to some important persons of the organization. Integrate customer order information. The next point actually deals with ERP actually tracks the whole system. Once an order is placed by a customer, till the time it is actually loaded into the dock ships. This is how ERP works. Next is standardize and speed up manufacturing process and reduce inventory. Both of these points deal with the fact ERP helps you to smooth the working process of maintaining inventory and the manufacturing process. Last one is standardize HR information. Okay, when ERP has all the data about manufacturing, about HR, and all of the things, activities related to the organization, an HR manager can click on the database and find out after how many years they will be in a need of recruiting new personnel, because 10% of the employees are actually going to retire. This is a system on which the PSU banks work. Generally, they give an opportunity of 400 people coming up to write an exam, and they have an opportunity of 50-60 people they'll be placing all over their branches. And suddenly, it's not a trend. If you have noticed it, it's not a trend to hold exam for each and every bank after 6 months. They'll finalize what is their requirement in the coming 6 months or years, and as per that requirement, they give up a notice, they put up a notice, we have a vacancy for this in this particular month, please come up with your online filing of examination form. So an HR manager can find out all the data with just one click. Decision making in ERP. It's a change in the transaction process, in the functional process of the organization. There are many important decisions to be made in respect of the ERP. The first and foremost is ERP or not to ERP. It's not like a trend that someone else is buying a jeans, it's in the trend, I have to get it, have to get that jeans just to look smart. Whether that jeans suits you, whether the size is perfect or not, or you actually need it or not, the same can be implemented with the ERP. Your organization needs are actually asking for the ERP. Do you want it? You just want it for the sake of having it because your competitors are implementing ERP? It's not so. You need to analyze your own organization's needs, and if ERP only can help it, then implement ERP. Next is follow software processes or customize. Yes, there are various standardized softwares available in the market. So you can go for customization as per your organization's needs, or you can just purchase and implement a standardized software if your needs are not that varied in various functions of the organization. Next is in-house or outsource. If an organization is itself implementing the ERP process, then there's an upside and downside. The upside is this: the more customized functions will be maintained by the organization, as there is a direct coordination between the employee and the customers. And if you go for in-house, there can be the downside also, which relates to missing of the core area of the organization. The organization might be misled by the path of implementation of ERP because they are not able to focus to manage their funds on their core area or in the niche market. By outsourcing, one negative thing can be passed on to the employees that they are not able to implement the ERP, so the outsourcing has to be done. Big bang or phased actually means sudden implementation or going on in phases to implement the ERP. Whereas the other approaches, the change in the system can be done in various approaches. The first and foremost is wave approach. It creates a wave of changes. You go for a small bit of implementation process, and then you decide to go for a higher percentage. You go for a sudden change in the eastern region, whereas north, south, and western region are going with the existing process. Next is parallel implementation, where both the existing process and the ERP go on side by side. Last one was instant cutovers. Yes, this again relates to big bang kind of implementation, whereas one day you are using the existing system and suddenly the next transaction will be updated in the ERP. This is not so favorable, though it goes for less cost. Process of ERP can be actually explained with this whole chart. First, there has to be a strategic plan. You are entering into the process of changing your whole organization's recording, data, analysis thing, all the transaction processes has to be changed. So there has to be strategy. How are you going to implement the ERP? What are the plans of implementing it? Is this in an instant cutover or a parallel implementation? What are the needs? The strategic plan. Next comes identify ERP business needs. What is required? Translate those into technical feature requirements. How they can be implemented. They cannot be implemented just because I wish or you wish. There has to be a technical process in between. Next is priorities features using QFD. What are the features we need to be aware of? What are the do's and don'ts of the ERP? Initial software selection. Try to go on for a selecting a software which is favorable to you. And if you find really interesting it, then go for phased implementation. That is suggested. Site visits. Continuous checking of the implementation process is needed. The next is send out RFQs, reportings, whatever has been found out, and how can we change the negative path. Final software selection. Going on through various softwares will help us to know which one is better. Obviously, there is no black or white side. There is always a gray side to every question. We can find out an optimum solution only after trying a few. And the final stage is implementation. This is the whole process of ERP. There are various risk and governance issues because a human mind can actually, it's very obvious that human mind cannot bear the change with sudden decision of the management. The employees at first when they listen about the ERP, how do they react? I've been working with this organization from past 30 years. If ERP comes up, if everything becomes computerized, my job is gone. This is their first impression. Young people will be knowing computer, young people will be coming up, I'll be asked to leave the job. This is not so. So kind of this, there are many risk and governance issues coming up. The first one is single point of failure. In this respect, I'll give you an example also. I had a tab, Micromax tab. I gave it to the service center. It's not working, sir, please check it. They took it. And after one month, I actually called them back, sir, what's the update? I'm not able to get any call or message from your company. What's the update, whether my tab is ready or not? That ma'am from there, that person from there said, ki, ma'am, we are not able to answer your question because the server is down. What was this? They have actually implemented the ERP. The server is down. The whole system is disrupted. This is single point failure. Structural changes, the top-down approach, the committees, the levels, it changes one and everything. New system has been formed. Job role changes, yes, if you're working at that particular level, you won't be asked to leave. You will be trained as per your ability and as per your knowledge, you will be placed in some other department. But definitely ERP does not result in asking you to leave the job. Online, real time, it just updates the whole software, whole database instantly as soon as the transaction happens. Change management. The top management has to be very sincere and very hopeful about the implementation of ERP because every structure, every team, committee member, everyone is so focused on ERP because everyone's task changes, the structure changes. Managing team, their policies, it all changes. Distributed computing experience. Few other features are like broad system access, dependency on external assistant, program, interfaces, and data conversions. These are actually a few features which deal with the issues a management has to face while implementing the ERP, and they have to be ready before the implementation process. Last one is privacy and confidentiality because the data is available to each and every computer. So the access point has to be determined that this information is so important, it should not be going out of this office, and if anyone wants to access this, there has to be a password. Only the top management personnel shall be able to check this information. Next is challenges. Yes, the three parts we have divided the ERP topic is on concept, challenges, and solutions. The second part is challenges. ERP module integration. Each and every function is integrated. Next is fear of past implementations experience. On this particular point, how many of you have had past relationships? Please raise your hand. Your parents are not watching. Okay, I see very few. Others are might shy. If you have had a past relationship and if it does not goes well, you are actually afraid of going into any other relationship. Something might happen. It might not work in the same manner the previous one didn't work. The same goes with the ERP implementation. ERP implementation is not a foolproof plan. It does not ensure you that yes, you implement the system, you implement the software into your program and everything will be computerized. You'll be saving your cost, you'll be saving your time. It's a foolproof plan. Nothing can go well, nothing can go bad. It's not so. There are a few steps. There is a Microlabs company. They have been trying to implement and make the whole organization ERP using, but they are not able to do it from past 6 years. They're actually working on it still. Dr. Lalpath Labs, they have been successful in implementing it a few regions, but still they face problems. Even a foolproof ERP running organization might go like server down problems, might have server down problems, so they might not be able to conduct the business each and every time. Lack of competitive benefit. People feel that the person who is using ERP will be getting an extra advantage just because the sake he is using an ERP. It provides you with all data, like we have done in financial ratio analysis and planning part in accounts. We have been provided with the data. The debtors are supposed to give you this amount of money after this month. So the debtors turnover ratio is this. You find it out. In the same way, ERP gives you all the data. You have to synchronize it and you have to find out how to make better use of that data in comparison to your competitors. Time-consuming, expensive implement. I gave an example like a company is still trying to implement it. It's been 6 years. They are still not successful. Videocon even launched this ERP system. They went to Vaigyan and it was Vaigyan's idea, please don't go for a region-wise thing, go for factory on factory basis in a particular region. So they went on a phased implementation starting through factories. It actually costs you too much amount of fund and right now as ERP is improving, people have started comment, right now you can get ERP in 50 lakhs only. So just imagine if you are going for a big MNC's ERP process, how much you can be charged for. ERP limitations and resistance to change, people actually doesn't want to change. They are stuck with their idea of working. So it's been tough to make them realize how helpful ERP can be for them. Full-fledged or partial ERP. It's upon the organization's decision. Their challenges faced that if they wish, they'll go for partial ERP, for some functions, or for a full-fledged ERP process. Finally, how to handle challenges faced by the ERP. In the diagram, you can actually feel that there is a drift from down to upward. There is a huge challenge in between. This challenge can be actually met with the help of the top management team. If the team is actually interested to work on the ERP, they have to keep their key employees and stakeholders motivated through the whole process. Then only we can see ERP as a successful venture. Vendors of ERP, it's market analysis. Talking about ERP, whoever is working on this particular software, he'll definitely name SAP. It's a German-based ERP software which is named SAP. You can have a look at the data. SAP has 25%, Oracle has 13%, and the others go on, so on and so forth. As a summary and a conclusion, I can just jot it down that ERP is a business solution software package. We can implement ERP with the help of top management committee. It takes much amount of funds, much patience and time. And with all of this help, if ERP turns out to be a very successful venture, the organization actually gets an added advantage in the market. Few examples I would like to quote is Videocon, Panasonic, Palmolive, HUL, Dr. Lalpath Lab, Dr. Reddy's is fully ERP, and Ranbaxy, and many MNCs have implemented ERP and they have turned out to be very successful. The last thing is, I would like to thank you all of you for patient listening. One more thing, we have in final course curriculum, there is a subject still applicable, Information Systems Control and Audit, ISCA, in short we call it. There are 10 chapters in that paper. Chapter 7 is fully on ERP. I hope that I would have been successful in making you understand that particular chapter and be helpful in your examination. For a summary revision basis, you can go through the Slovenia page 104. I provided a summary of that whole chapter and this presentation would have been helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you all the management committee teams on behalf of paper writers from outside the state. Like me, I've come from Kolkata. Many have come from other states. We would like to be thankful to all of you. And I'll be waiting here at the dais for the next 10 minutes for all your queries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neha, for your ideal presentation.
And now over to Sir Vittal Raj to conclude this session with expert comments and remarks.
Thank you. Good try by both of you, certainly. And I'm sure you know, Sri Harsha, it was possibly not your day because your videos didn't work, but I'm sure otherwise it would have been great to see that. Let's look at it. I mean, the first topic was typically what we call as CATs. What's CATs? Computer aided audit techniques. Okay. Now, this is a very generic terminology, but Excel is one of those tools which transforms itself fabulously as a CAT, which is available to all of us. Now, one of the key things is, one is to look at the features of what Excel has. Harsha did touch upon, the subtotal function, the go-to special, the add-ons that you can get. There are a whole lot of them, and the one that he mentioned is just one of them which has multiple features which comes with that. The pivot is, of course, one thing which we would be widely using in